I wanted to bewitch the South African woman that used me. She was so cruel. She used me, then I went to a traditional healer. But what I was told by her ancestors, it really shocked me. My name is called Cosmos, my real name. I am a 45-year-old man. In order for you to understand the pain that I still have to this very day, I want to take you back to the beginning of my story. But this is a warning. Even though this woman or maybe your children will never hear this confession, but I tell you and I bet you, when I die, she is going to deal with my spirit. She is happy now because her ancestors, they are powerful. But when I die, I am also going to become an ancestor. What she does not know about me, or maybe most of you do not understand about me, Dinobva Zaka. Translated, I come from Zaka. You should ask people from Zimbabwe. When they say Zakarino Pisa, translated, Zaka burns hot with witchcraft. When we say Zakarino Pisa, we are not just scaring people, but it is the truth. Witchcraft, it is them. I might have failed for now, but in the end, she is going to discover that indeed Zakarino Pisa. Brother Nashim, let me tell you what happened to me. There I was, trapped in a cycle of rural poverty. When I talk about rural poverty, there is no job in the rural areas. The only thing that you can do, it is farming, really small-scale farming that is not commercial, and you are relying on the rain. So that was all that I did, me and my wife. Me and my wife, when we got married, we were still very young, and we were just surviving. Plant vegetables, sell a few, and then life continues. And we had our kids. But I wanted to become something in my life. I was someone that was a hard worker. I worked really hard. There is what we call marikicho in brackets. You go and you do heavy, exhausting, casual labor on other people's farm. Sometimes you do not even get paid in money. They pay you with maize meal. But I did not complain. Soon me and my wife, we had 2 children. This was my battle every day to keep them alive. Then a miracle happened. There was a friend of mine that changed my life. This childhood friend, he came back from South Africa. It was in December. He looked incredibly healthy. You could see that his skin was glowing. And he told me that South Africa was nice. He had a job. He was working in Johannesburg. He said that Johannesburg is a place even an uneducated man can find a job overnight. I was desperate to rescue my children from hunger. That was when I openly begged him to take me back with him. So then I sold some goats. That is how I got the money so that people can be able to smuggle me into South Africa. Cosmas had already told me the money that was needed. I was supposed to raise 800 rands. That was the money for the bus fare only. Then I had to raise another money to pay the magumaguma. These are the people that stay in the bushes when you are crossing the Limpopo River, because if you don't have a passport, you go through the river. So I was supposed to have that money. To someone that is already working or has never known poverty, 800 to you is like change. But to me at that time, it was like $1 million. To sell my goats, even my wife cried because that was all that we had. So after I had raised that money, we put that money together and then we moved, and that is how I came to South Africa. When I came to South Africa, I did not know that the beauty of South African women was going to mess up with the way that I thought I would survive in South Africa. My friend, after we had left the village, he started to joke. He bought some mangoes. As we were eating those mangoes, we were on the bus. He then laughed and he said, the way that this mango is yellow inside, that is the type of women that you are going to see in Joburg. They are yellow like this mango. He said, my friend, are you going to resist the thighs of a Zulu woman? And I did not know that I was not going to be able to resist them. I then said to him, you know me, my friend, with the way that I love my wife, me and my wife, we have been together. Nothing will ever come in between us. He said, okay, we will see when we arrive in South Africa. The moment that the bus crossed into South Africa, you start to see the change and you start to see beautiful women everywhere. I would see women with big curves as if they had some things that they had planted behind them. This was something that was really new for me. It was really amazing to see so much women crowded in the same place, all of them having beautiful bodies. You could not even count by the time that we arrived in Joburg when we were at Park Station. My eyes, they even became sore, and my neck, it was even hurting because I was turning to the left, follow this woman as she was walking, and I would see that their bums, they were like jiki, 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 jiki as they were walking. And I said, ha, finally I have arrived in heaven. I started to work in the construction, and eventually I met a beautiful Zulu woman that I will call Tandi. She was so beautiful. And this woman, she loved me and I loved her. But deep down, I also had a selfish secret plan. She was going to benefit anyway. I knew that if I stayed with a South African citizen, she could help me navigate and get my legal residency papers. My plan was simple: use her as she was using me to get my legal permits, because I had seen an SMS that she was begging for love back to her boyfriend. She said, I'm just with this Zim guy because he's providing for me. And I was with him because I wanted her to help me. So it was a 50-50. We were hiding from each other. Once I had secured a nice job, dump her and bring my wife. However, life is very strange. Tandi, she was someone that was so beautiful. She was someone that will make you believe that she is helping you, even though she was not helping you. Maybe she used some love potions on me, I do not know. Instead of dumping her, when I got my legal permit, by then I was already driving a truck. The first man that I worked for, he was a struggling South African businessman that owned one truck. Me and him, we worked together. He would not pay me, I would not complain, until finally he secured his first contract and he started to buy nice trucks. I was a poor village guy that came from Zakam. All of a sudden, I started to earn thousands and thousands of rands every month. It is something that is not supposed to happen to a poor black person that has never had a bank account in his entire life. When I was given my first 25,000 rands, I was nearly hit by a car because I was almost running mad. This was cash that my boss had given to me. I had never had so much money in my entire life. When I was returning back from work, going to Tandi's house, my mission was to lie to him that I only had been given 5,000 and hide the rest of the money and return back to my wife. But when I arrived, whilst we were still at the gate, Tandi had to close my mouth because I nearly shouted that I have 25,000 that I have been given by my boss, my love. Let us go and enjoy this money. It was like, shh, to me, do you want people to rob us? She was feeling the pockets of my jacket at that time, and she said, how? So you have money, let us go inside. We went into our bedroom, and I found myself in between her thighs, and she said, I have a business plan. She was quite evil-hearted because whenever she had a plan, she would put me in between her thighs, and I would always agree. So this is what Tandi told me. Tandi told me that she wanted to buy a house in another location, and this house, it was costing nearly 600k, and she had a plan. She wanted to put a student accommodation there. I then said, okay, it is fine. However, because I was a foreign national and I had not yet established a credit profile in South Africa, so Tandi then said, are you able to speak with your boss? Hey, this woman, she will see me when I die. So she said to me, are you able to tell your boss so that your salary can land in my account every month? So I trusted her completely. She was the woman that had assisted me to get legal papers, so she was my wife. Each and every month, my boss will deposit the salary into her account. Thereby, I was building a credit profile. Guys, I am a hard worker. I would drive the truck even when I was sleeping, resting only here and there. I developed acids because of Tandi. I never rested. If my boss will send me to Cape Town, I will buy my dragons and I would drink my coffee, only being stopped by the police. There were times when some guys that I was working with, they would be surprised. I would get nearly 50,000 rands because I was overworking myself. I wanted to accomplish this dream. 7 months down the line, Tandi, she called me. She was screaming with joy and happiness. I said, what's up? She then told me that the bank had told her that she could qualify for a personal loan for nearly 500,000. And then she applied at the bank, she got the money. Tandi had promised me that since me and him, we were married, we were supposed to go to that house, and on the title deeds, it was supposed to be my name and her name. And what she did, it was really heartless. I did not know. I only found out about this when I was arrested, when I was told that my visa, my spousal visa, but now I had a temporary residency, it was fake and fraudulent. How so? Tandi, what she did to me, it was just evil. Once she saw that she now had the house and she started to renovate the house with my money, she was using my money. And when she got people to rent the rooms, then she went without my knowledge. And she claimed that she just found out that she was married to a foreigner. South African women, you will never see heaven. She increased my blood pressure. She started to cheat me. Do you know that a woman can cheat you until you have diabetes? I started to have acids because I was always stressed. I could not sleep. I could not stay awake. I just wanted to die because she would cheat on me. I would call and the guy would answer the phone whilst I was en route going to deliver people's things in Cape Town. I would cry whilst I am driving that truck. One night, after she had finished building a house, we were alone in the privacy of our bedroom. Then Tandi, that was when she told me that she did not want me to continue having my money being deposited into my account. She did this because already I had told you that my boss, he had been informed that if you have a foreigner driving your truck without a permit, if anything happens, the insurance, it is not going to pay. So he was like, I know I trust you, Cosmas. I know I trust you. You will never run away with the load. To have an accident, I don't think that you will have an accident, because all the years that I had worked for him, the accident that I had is I had a tire puncture. And thanks God, I was moving really slow. And I had just finished going downhill. And the tire, it exploded, and I nearly had a terrible accident. But since I was not overspeeding, I stopped safely. He said to me, I know that you love my company, you love me like a brother, you won't do anything bad, but think about my business, man. If we carry people's stuff, because he was on contract, we carry stuff to Cape Town, you have an accident, and then insurance can't pay for the goods in transit, then what is going to happen to me, Cosmas? I'm going to get arrested. They will sue my company. I'm still struggling, And I understood my boss. So I then told Tandi about this. Tandi, she was like, oh, my love, don't worry. We now have a house. The tenants, they are paying nice. We can have a second house. We are going to start a big business. Very soon, we will be owing 10 houses in Soweto. So I believed him until she said, Cosmas, I don't want your boss to keep on depositing money in the account. She did this because her credit profile was great, and the money that my boss was now giving me, it was not even more than 15K, because my boss, he did not want to risk me doing those long distance trips. So I was just doing some runarounds, Gauteng, Limpopo, come back, Gauteng, Limpopo, come back, and I was not getting any money. That was a lot, because the trip that I was taking from Gauteng to Limpopo, the load was just tires. I come back with some batteries, the old batteries. So it is not a load where my boss was getting a lot of money just to keep the wheels of the truck turning. So Tandi told me after that she did not want to continue in this relationship. I said, Tandi, you can't do that. She then told me that it was over. I was beaten by Tandi's by the new boyfriend, including the brother, and I ran back to Zim. When I ran back to Zim, I then went to another traditional healer with the intentions to bewitch her, because I wanted her to run mad. So when I was at the traditional healer's house, the healer said that Tandi's face was supposed to appear inside a clay pot, but she did not appear for several days until the healer got so sick, and he claimed that he had seen the ancestors of Tandi who had been fighting for her, and he said, my son, this one, just let it go. So this is where I am right now. My wife, she took me back. She's working as a maid, and I'm working as a gardener, but I used to be a truck driver. I have experience. I can work for any company. My brother, if you know anyone that is looking for a truck driver that is not going to steal the load, that is going to work very hard, if you know anyone, please, I am begging you. You know my numbers. I used to speak with you on WhatsApp. You can just give me the phone number of those people. But I've just come here because I want everyone in Africa to witness. If tomorrow, if I'm dead, because I already have some ulcers and acids, I'm always drinking charcoal so that I can be okay. If I die, if Tandi tries to find people that will have to help him to chase away my spirit from sleeping with her daughters, from sleeping with her as a tokoloshi, do not even assist him, because anyone that is going to assist Tandi is going to become my target. If a Sangoma have daughters, you help Tandi, I will sleep with your wife and your daughters. That woman, she is very heartless. I will never forget. I wasted so much time. There was one day when I cried. when I was looking at my old payslips, I earned nearly 2 point something million at that time in South Africa, but I did not even buy an underwear. I was looking after Tandi and building the house for him. Is it fair, guys? Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to us by one of our dear brother. It was a translation of the message that he sent to us. He's saying that if there is anyone who owns a trucking company anywhere in Southern Africa, he is willing to work. Let us speak with him in the comment section. If you want, you can send me your phone numbers on our Facebook. Then I can give him your phone numbers. Let us speak with him in the comment section. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.